Hello, my dear friends. Today we are going to discuss on an important topic, the functional gastrointestinal disorders. This talk is primarily based on two important guidelines, the NICE or NICE guidelines, which is from UK. National Institute of Clinical Excellence publishes guidelines on different topics, and on functional bowel disorders and dyspepsia, NICE guidelines have been published. Likewise, for gastrointestinal diseases, particularly the functional gastrointestinal diseases, Rome criteria are internationally renowned. The latest revision of Rome, the Rome 3, we will be adopting, and this presentation has incorporated both the NICE guidelines and the Rome 3 criteria. Of course, as usual, this presentation is made available on our website www.drsarma.in. Please log on to this website and then download not only this presentation, several other CME presentations. More than around 130 presentations are available for free download. Please make use of these presentations and leave a word of acknowledgement whenever you want to use them and present them somewhere. Apart from the central nervous system, which has got the somatic control of the body, we have got what is called the autonomic nervous system in our body. The autonomic nervous system has got three divisions. As you know, two divisions are commonly known to all of us, but please remember there is a third important division called the enteric division. Among the autonomic nervous system components, we have the sympathetic division, the parasympathetic division. The sympathetic division is called the thoracolumbar outflow from the prevertebral ganglia, and the parasympathetic division has got two components, the cranial and the sacral. This is called the craniosacral outflow, and this forms the parasympathetic division. In addition, we have a third very important, not very well known to all of us. The division is called the enteric division, which controls the movement of our GI tract. This has got basically two types of plexus, the myenteric plexus and the submucosal plexus. The myenteric plexus and submucosal plexus together are controlled by the enteric division of the autonomic nervous system, which is again under the influence of the vagus nerve, and also the entire autonomic system is interconnected to the brain directly and indirectly, through which it rests control on the GI tract, and the functional disorders are a result of maladaptation of these reflexes, of these various nervous controls and the brain together. This is a schematic representation of the enteric nervous system, also known as the ENS. The enteric nervous system, as I have already told you, comprises of the myenteric and the submucosal plexus. Look here, this is the mucosa of the GI tract, and then under the submucosa we have got the plexus, and there are ganglions in that. These are called the submucosal ganglions. And then we have got the circular muscle layer, and then you have a longitudinal muscle layer. Between the longitudinal and the circular muscle layers, we have got the myenteric plexus. The longitudinal muscle layer is important to reduce the length of the bowel for more bowel movement, and the circular muscle layer is important for the bowel to squeeze the contents from above to lower levels. Of course, the ENS is primarily controlled by the neurotransmitter serotonin, also known as 5-hydroxytryptamine. 5-hydroxytryptamine has got several effector sites, the 5-HT1, 2, 3 and 4. For the GI function, the 5-HT3 and 4 are very essential. Remember that 95% of the serotonin is located in the gut. Only 5% of the serotonin is in the brain. So it is the serotonergic drive of the ENS that controls both the motility and the secretory activity of the GI tract. This diagrammatic summarization is about the interaction of the ENS, that is the enteric nervous system, and the CNS, central nervous system, also known as brain gut interaction, as a consequence of psychosocial stress. Supposing there is mental stress, which of course affects the brain, and through the CNS, the brain mast cell connection is activated. These mast cells are there in the GI tract. Intraluminal antigens get attached to the mast cells, and then these mast cells attract the chemical substances, chemoattractant factors, and that results in inflammatory surveillance in the body. These mast cells, of course, once they are activated by the intraluminal antigens, the paracrine mediators, example histamine, are released, and these act on the enteric nervous system, which is a defense program. And this enteric nervous system acts on the muscles of the GI tract, on the blood vessels of the GI tract, and on the secretory epithelium of the GI tract, and that results in the gut behavior, in the power propulsion of the GI tract, in the secretion or hypersecretion from the GI tract, increase in the blood flow. So much so, any mental stress through the brain mast cell connection triggers the ENS. ENS in turn triggers the muscle secretory and the blood vessels, and the muscles increase the propulsion of the propulsive power in the GI tract, and then the secretory epithelium increases the secretion. Of course, the blood flow is commensurately increased by effector organs which are situated in the blood vessels, and that results in symptoms of what are called the diarrhea and the pain. So, the moment there is increased mental stress, there is going to be hypermotility of the gut, hypersecretion of the gut, hypervascularity of the gut, which results in what is called the brain gut interaction, causing the symptoms called the diarrhea and pain.